go. Train time. Where go?
Gentlemen, this school is about combat. There are no points for second place.
This is the Never Down, Never Out podcast with your host, T.R. Matson.
Welcome back, T.R. Matson, Never Down, Never Out episode. I don't even know. What number are we on today? 104. Whew. I feel like it was just 100. I feel like it was just 30. This has been moving along. This it's funny. This may make the year 2026 go by faster than a year normally does because we're doing this every day. Does anybody feel that way? I feel that way a little bit. For anybody who's coming in at this point, I like to do the recap, even though this is 104. We started this thing way back in January. Episodes 1 through 30 are Foundations of Mental Toughness, if you remember, the building block approach. And then 31 through 90, Discipline, Habits, Daily Execution. I have playlists for those on YouTube to keep it easy. And then now, since episode 91, we have been into failure, setbacks, and resilience, right? And this one will go until episode 150. So we got some time here. We need to focus on how to deal with this. Why is it such a big section? Well, it's such a big section because it's so important, right? We always, no matter what we're doing in life, we're going to have setbacks. We're going to have to show and build our resilience first and then show that we have it, or else, frankly, we're not going to get very far in life, right? So, and if you do, it's a boring life that you didn't accomplish much, in my opinion. So, we need to learn how to deal with the failures, and that's what we're doing here. So, today, how to rebuild confidence after a failure. This is a tough one, right? I mean, you know, a failure can derail so much hard work. Right. I mean, you could be working on something for months and months and years, and a failure can derail the whole thing. You know, and I mean, go back to the episode where I talked about the story about disappointment, right? Where I got that email from the training department. Didn't read the whole email, but in my mind, that was a failure of a culmination of, I mean, at that point, I'd been flying for 15 years. Right? I mean, instructing, flying, building hours in the Navy, at the airlines, and not getting, you know, the instructor job, although, because I'm an idiot and didn't read the whole email, in my mind at that moment, it was a failure, and it was tough to come back, right? So we've all experienced failures, and it can go one of two ways, and you have to be able to control it very quickly, in my opinion. I set a time limit. That's been the thing that has helped me the most in life, because I struggled with this, right? You know, through sports early on, through grades early on. First year of college was not great at all by any stretch. And it was tough. You know, I would get a bad grade and I would spiral, or, you know, I mean, and it could be anything. Like, I'd talk to a girl and she wasn't interested and I would spiral, you know, and it was like, dude, this doesn't work, man. This isn't going to help. So I learned, and maybe it was a little bit like what we talked about yesterday with flight school early on. You know, you're going to work every day. Maybe there's a little bit of that where, you know, today's failure, I've got to be back at work tomorrow. So I've learned to give myself 24 hours. If something hits me hard, 24 hours. I start the clock. And I give myself the grace to deal with it, mourn it, you know, compartmentalize it, think about it, feel bad for myself. But then as I approach 24 hours later, it's time to start moving. You know, now that's not to say at the 24-hour mark I flip a switch and I'm great again. No, but at the 24-hour mark, I better be moving. I better be getting back up, right? This is the whole never down, never out mentality, right? You're either up or you're getting back up. And you got that 24 hours. I found that to be the most successful thing. After 24 hours, I'm getting over my pity party, and I'm starting to move forward. I'm starting to address what went wrong. I'm starting to come up with a plan to regroup and move forward, maybe on the same goal, maybe on a different goal. Maybe that goal wasn't for me. Maybe I didn't put my heart into it because it wasn't really something I wanted to do. But that all starts after that first 24 hours. Now, if it's not a major failure, maybe I don't need the whole 24 hours, right? Maybe the same theory works in the gym if I miss a lift and I just can't lift a weight. I don't need to wait 24 hours to try again or to come up with a plan, but I do. I give myself a minute. I think about it. I regroup. Okay, moving on. And if you use that same formula for everything, it's going to work. You're going to accomplish things. You're going to get back on track. You're going to keep moving. Time is very valuable. And anybody who's followed me has heard me say this with regards to the books. You know, I joke, I can refund you your money. I'm not going to. It's a bad business model. But I can refund you your money if you don't like my book. But I can't refund you your time. So apply that same theory on how valuable time is to dealing with this. You've had a failure. How do I get back up? How do I get going? Well, that time that you're wasting when you're down, when you're having your pity party, when oh, woe is me and everything's wrong, that time you're wasting is valuable time. That's why I set a limit. 24 hours. That's it. After 24 hours, I'm going to start looking at things. And it's not a fast process all the time. Sometimes it takes time. But I'm going to start looking at things. I'm going to start reevaluating what I did that got me to the failure, and then what I can do differently if I want to stay towards that same goal. And if the answer is that goal wasn't for me, because when I look myself in the mirror, I go, you know what? My heart wasn't in it. I didn't give it my all. I know that. I don't have to say that. I don't have to come on a podcast and tell people that. But I didn't really. I just kind of phoned it in. I was going through the motions. Well, okay, that's part of the failure, and that's part of building the confidence up, right? Because if I didn't give something my all and I failed at it, it shouldn't shake my confidence to the core because I didn't give it my all. And if I gave it my all, then maybe I would have made it and been successful. And that's something I take a look at. I go, okay, well, do I want to give it my all and try again? Or is the reason I didn't give it my all is because I really didn't want to do it in the first place? And those are only things you can answer. So there's different ways to build confidence. A lot of people think, well, go back into doing exactly what you're doing, or take a step back and do something a little easier. I don't know if I agree. Again, I think the biggest thing is you have to give yourself time and give yourself grace. This world is very easy to chew you up and spit you out. It is very easy. You have to take a set amount of time, process what you just went through, give yourself the grace of knowing that you're not going to be successful at everything you do in this life, especially if you're pushing yourself to your limits. And then when you've hit the end of that time, get moving again. Slowly at first. It doesn't have to be a dead sprint, but get moving again, right? And this can apply to anything we're doing in our lives. So today, if you're experiencing a failure, start the clock. Start the clock and give yourself that time. Don't focus on anything else. Just give yourself that time to accept the fact that you put in a level of work, maybe not your best, but a level of your time, and you failed at something. But that clock's ticking. And when that timer's up, it's time to go. It's time to start moving forward. Because one of the things in this world that you can't stop is time. It's ticking, and we only have a finite amount of it on this planet. To find our purpose, to achieve our purpose. Don't waste that time feeling bad for yourself. Don't waste that time giving yourself excuses on why you didn't make it. Give yourself grace and then be honest with yourself. And if you decide to move forward again on that same path, move forward with more efficiency and with a better battle plan. If you can do that, you have a chance of being successful. So where are you at today? Are you in your grace time, your 24-hour pity party, or have you just come out of one and you're moving forward? Let me know. I'll see you tomorrow.
T.R. Matson is a 20-year Navy career combat veteran who flew the E-2C Hawkeye and F/A-18C Hornet. He's the author of Treason Flight and Vengeance Flight. You can reach him at trmatson or trmatson.com. Thanks for listening to the Never Down, Never Out podcast.